So I have told you about this primitive data types: boolean, byte, character, short, int, long. So you just remember this, what is the size over and what is the description, so that it helpful you in the programming program. Question will give addition of two long numbers, two float numbers, double operation like this. So next, depending upon this data type, you have to declare the literals. So the keyword is not used when initializing a variable of a primitive type. Instead, a literal value should be assigned each variable upon initialization. So what is a literal? So literal, if you see, literal can be a number, it can be a text or any information that represent a value. So example of literals. So if you define int x equals to 100, int I equals to 1 lakh, short s equals to this value, byte b equals to 100, character c. So whenever you are assigning some value to a variable and along with its data type, it is known as a literals over there. So previous class, I have shown an example, write a program to read different type of data types and show print it. Correct or not? Yes or no? So in that, what I have done, I have read a integer value, I have read a byte value, I have read a double value, I have read a string value and display it. Okay. So depending upon this input, we can input in two ways. By using scanner class and for inputting we can do two ways. One is command line argument, next one is through keyboard. Clear? If you want to use keyboard, there are you have to use scanner class, buffer reader class are there. So different terminal, different class they are there in order to take user input. Suppose there is another way, command line in argument. Line you can also input to the program. Clear? Instead of I'll define the character A and B, so and A and B, I'll pass the value A and B in the command line. So that is another way. So in the previous class, what I have told you, so how to take the user input by from the keyboard. For that reason, I have implemented the scanner class. So what is the scanner class? So screen not visible, huh?
Yes, sir.
The screen not visible, sir.
I have just displayed a notepad where I have taken a scanner class to read the data, different type of data type. Maybe it is a byte, maybe an integer, maybe a float, maybe a double, maybe a string. So user input I have to take and display it. So it is the same with the previous program what we have executed. So what we have done here, so if you take, I have imported the java.util.scanner. So scanner is the predefined class where I have to take the user input. Where if you see, I have created this line, scanner in equals to new scanner system.in. So if you are using a predefined class name, it must be a capital one. Clear? So system.in is also a class which is present in the scanner class to take input. Similarly, if you check the println statement, it is written system.out. So system.out is a predefined class where the println method is mentioned over there. So to take input, it is system.in. To print the output, the system.out class are there. Clear? So here what I have taken, so first again I have taken import is a keyword, Java is a package, utility is a package. In that utility package, scanner is a predefined class. So in order to access the scanner class, I have to define it. So now I can access the scanner class. This is the line. The second line is I have taken a class name. You can take any name. I have taken just input all types of all input all type is the class name. Then public static void main. Then I have taken the main method and made the method as a public one. So access specifier has been done. So next one I have read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 variables. One is byte, another is int, another float, and double, and string is clear. So here I can assign the value directly also. So in this way it is possible. So here I am directly assigning the literal. So if I will not assign directly, I want to user input. So I will just define it and I will create a scanner class. Scanner in equals to this one. So scanner class, when you define, you have to create objects. So this in is the object of the class and new is the operator. Scanner, if you see, this is a method or not, scanner within bracket. So this is known as constructor of the class. So we'll go later on. So what is that? So for the timing, you know, it is a method in the system scanner class, and whenever the method name is same as the class name, it is known as the constructor. Just 1 second. Okay, fine. So voice is audible, screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what I've taken, so I have defined the scanner class here. So simple, as you know, whatever you write in the println statement, it will go to your output screen. So I have taken the string variable s. So I want to read the value. So what is the syntax? The variable equals to in. What is the object of the scanner class? So it is the in object. In dot next line. So this is the predefined method which is defined in the system in class to read the variables. So if you take check, then you have entered it, then print the value. Clear. Similarly, when you have to read the value, this by is the, if you see byte by, so by is the variable here. Save it. By equals to next byte. So if you see, b is the capital here. Similarly, if you want to read integer value int a, the syntax is a equals to in next int. So in is nothing but the object of the scanner class, because we are using accessing the scanner class through the in object. So in dot next int. So this is the predefined method to read a integer. So whether if you want to read a float value, next float. Whether you want to read a double value, next double. Whether you want to read a string variable, it will be next line. So like this it will be there. So b is the next float over there. Clear. Similarly, d equals to next double. So I have written the double value. So next, this line defines the reading variable, and the system.out.println is used to print the variable. Clear? So now the program is clear. Everybody clear or any doubt? It's a small program to read the different type of variables together and display it. It will take time.
Yes, sir.
So this is a syntax to compile a file. What is the syntax? Java C input all types is the file name dot java. So it will be the compilation. So if it is the next prompt will become, that means your compilation is okay. If you have any error, it will be highlighted. for the execution, if you write Java and only the file name, clear, it will ask to enter a string. So this is the functionality of system.in class. What I have defined, scanner in equals to system.in. So I am writing int for reading a string. What is that command? In dot next line. So in this, here it is asking to provide the user to the data. So if I'll write gmrit, so I have entered the string over there. Then it displays your entered string is this one. So for the byte value, it must be 121. So if I'll make it 100, it will display. Enter the integer value 56. Enter the float value 56.2. Clear. Enter the double value. Clear. So this is coming. So if you check, if here I am writing system.out.println. So whenever a system.out.println executing, after executing, it goes to the next line. Correct or not? Suppose if I remove the system.out.println, if I'll remove the println, if I'll only use system.out.print, just see this. My screen is visible.
Now we can.
Okay. So what will that simple thing? If I'll remove this println, clear. Instead of println, I'll remove write only print. So what will happen? It will print in a single line. So it will not go to any new line over there. Just check it. If I'll remove this all println, I am writing the system.out.println. If ln means it will goes to the new line. Executing that command, it prints to the next line. So if I'll remove this ln, what will it will print in a single row, so that it will not goes to the new row over there. System.out.print is also used in printing the value, but it will not come in a, it will print all the value in a single row. Yeah. So I have removed all the println statement with respect to print. Correct or not? So I'll save this. I'll save it this one. Command prompt is visible.
Yes, sir.
So Java C, that file name dot Java. Okay. So next one is I want to execute. Clear. It asks enter a string. If you see here, it is asking enter a string, and GMRT is going to the next new line, but it is going in a single way. Suppose if I'll write here, I'll give a space, I'll write ABHI, my name, suppose Abhishek. Then you have entered string is Abhishek, and then enter the number below 128. If I'll enter here 100, clear, your enter number is 100. Again integer, if I'll make 55. So everything is printing in a single line, correct or not? If you see this, the output is printing in single line. Whereas in this case, it is printing the value in row wise. It is after executing a particular line, it goes to the next line over there. Clear? So that is the difference between using println statement and print statement. The functionality of both the function is same, but if you write println, it will goes to the next line. But in println, the output will be written in a single row. So float number you can enter 20.21. Okay, double number 25. So this is the running. So clear system.out.println. It is clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir, once open the programs.
Visible?
Sir, what is the use of s equal to in dot next line? Then what is this?
This one, na? So what here? What you are using? Actually, the first aim is to read the user input. Correct. So there are some predefined method which is used to store the input character provided by the user. Clear. If you are providing a line, it will take a read. If you write Abhishek is a good boy or GMRD is a good college, it will take. So it will read whole the line. So whatever the user input provided, so this is the predefined method used to read it for line or character, any string. So next byte is also predefined method. Sorry, predefined class. It is a class method where this method is defined to read any byte variable. Suppose if you want to use a integer, so next int. So this is a predefined method. Similarly, if you want to read a next, if you want to read a float value, so next float. So what is in is nothing but using the scanner class. So scanner equals scanner space in equals to new scanner system dot in. Clear? So in just is a name. You can change it also. If you write scanner sc, then it will change as sc dot next in. What is sc? Sc is nothing the object of the scanner class. Clear? So as I say, it is an object oriented programming. So every class will be executed through the help of object only. So save it. That means there are some predefined classes there. If you want to access the classes, you have to create the object of the class, then you can access it. So if you see how to access the class, you have to first define which class you want to access. So import java.util.scanner. So in this scanner class, you are accessing the system.in file package over there. In that, if you want to read a line, so next line. If you want to read a integer, next int. And if you see, L is capital, here B is capital, here I is also capital. For next float, F will be capital, and D is also capital. So these are the predefined methods to read the data type. Clear? If you don't want to read from the keyboard, you can directly assign here. You can directly assign A equals to 50. You can directly assign here. You can assign B equals to 56.05. Like this, you can assign. If you don't want to assign the value at the time of declaration, if you want to take from the user input, you can take scanner class also. Clear?
Okay.
Suppose same program, why I have done, suppose the question will give to you, write addition of two numbers, where you take the user input from the keyboard. So how will you do it? Addition of two numbers. I will define two variables int a and b. Then I will define a variable sum equals to 0, which will store the address of a plus b. The same program, suppose if I'll make a edit this one, for the timing you just see. Same program what I has done, I have taken int by. So what I will do, I will define another variable int b. Clear? So I'll remove this one. So I have defined this one. Okay. Up to this much I will remove. No need to, just addition of two numbers. Small program. So enter the integers. I will read a value a equals to this one. Then again I will. My screen is visible. What I am operating also.
Yes, sir.
I will define int next. Clear? Next int within bracket close. So this is a predefined method. What I have defined? I have defined two variables. I have defined a scanner class object. Suppose I want to store the value in another. Suppose I will take here another variable int sum. If I'll take, clear. Then what I will do? I have here. I have read the two variables. Okay. Clear. What I will do? I will do here sum equals to small program, just addition of two numbers. Clear? Then I have to display the so in the system out.println, in the double quote, what you will write, it will print in the output. So if I will write here the addition of two numbers Clear. So what is the variable is storing the address? Sum. So I am going to print the value of sum over there. So I will just change it, the method input add. Clear. So what is the class name here? Control C. How to save this? You go to save, go to save as. Is it visible to all?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir.
So I will paste it the class name dot java. Clear. So it will be stored. Now it will be stored as a Java file. Clear. Then I'll go to the compiler. I'll compile this file and show you the output. Just a second. Visible to all?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So how to compile? What is the syntax? Java C. What is the file name I have taken? Input add
Input dot Java.
Java. Yeah. So compilation is correct. That means if any error there, it will be highlighted below. Then I will run it. Java space the file name over there. Clear. Enter. Enter the integer. Suppose I will enter 1 5. Enter. Another enter 6. So addition of two number is 11. If you see, this is the output. Got it? It is a small program, just addition of two numbers. Similarly, you can do swapping of two numbers. Already you know the logic of swapping of two numbers, multiplication of two numbers, division of two numbers. What are the operators? Mathematical operator you can do, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, everything you can do. Small program. It is clear or any doubt up to this much? So just remember this command. For the compilation, you will write Java C that file name. Clear? For this is a command for compilation. Java C file name dot Java. For compilation, for running the file, Java is the keyword and the file name. And this file name must be same as the class name. If any change in the class name with the file name, then it will not execute the file. That means if you input dot add, if you write a here small letter, but in class name you write a as the capital, then mismatch occur. So what is the class name? It must be same as the file name. Got it? Yeah.
Now visible, sir.
Visible? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So this session is depending upon the data types, literals what we have defined. So I have execute 1 and 2. Same thing is displayed here in terms of words. So declaring variables and literals. So already you know how to declare a variable like this. So long total. So this is if you don't want to take from the user side. If you don't want to take, you can directly initialize the value. Int double d1 equals to this one. If you take float f1 equals to 1.2.43, so direct initialization. So these are the another there are long values are there. Actually there is a term called long int. So if you take integer size maximum, so it will take, if you see the number of long credit number, what is the number 1 2 3 4 underscore 5 to, so see different types of data. It is a combination of letter and numbers. So if you want to read such type of data type, so what will be the data type? The data type will be long. Clear? Hexa words you can take. Clear? So these are different phenomenon of reading different variables. So Java AC software binary literals. So same thing. See, okay, this one. So if you see what I have highlighted here, what is a double x equals to 5.745, correct? So it means that you have defined a x value which is a double type, what is the value? 5.745. In the next line it has been written that int y equals to int of x. Clear? So this is known as a typecasting. That means, so if you write here, already you know the x value is a double. Clear? So by writing this statement is known as typecasting. What is a typecasting? Converting a variable from one type to another. So what is your conversion? Here x is the double variable. You want to cast, you have to convert into int. So this, if you want to convert into int, so this is the syntax. So int within bracket, which variable you want to convert x. So this is known as a typecasting. So what is a typecasting? Typecasting, it is a type conversion where we can convert from one data type to other. Here the data type double is converted to int. So 5.745. So the value will be, what is the integer part? It will take only the integer part. So it will be 5.
5.
Clear. So similarly, there is floor and ceiling values are there. If the 5.75, what is the ceiling value? The ceiling value will be 6 according to the mathematics. If the 5.7 you are taking, what will be the floor value? 5. It will take the lower value over there. So these are known as the type. Similarly, same thing, the conversion we can do. So what is that? A cast is a signal of a type conversion. If you cast one type as another type, you are explicitly converting the item from its original type to the type that you specify. Then a cast does not round a decimal number, but instead it truncate it. An example. So it will remove the decimal part. Only the only the integer part it will take. The whole number it will represent. So this is known as the typecasting. Next one is why this literal have been used. So literals, you already know, literals nothing but the data type and variables. So why you are using? Doing some manipulation operation. That means either you perform some ALU operation, you may perform some transaction over there. As I told, Java is a scripting language, so it can be applicable in various purpose. One is calculation, one is comparison. Next one is your low level programming such as writing, device writer, low level graphics, communication protocol, packet assembly and decoding. So these are all these low level programmings. These are known as your web page designing, communication protocol and everything. So only thing is a calculation and comparison. So next thing, if someone asks what is the use of binary literals, you can say it is optimal to use the literal for overall power performance because they are less resources. Another one is usually to perform calculation on integer or as fast binary literals. This one. Okay, so there is a casting, type casting example. Suppose if you read a value, this one, it may be a long value. You want to convert into byte type. So by type, you have to highlight it within bracket, clear, and write the variable. So it will going to typecast the value. Here the value is also given long value. You have to convert into short type. So this is another of short type conversion. So rules of a variable name. So you already know how to name the variable, how to make a variable name. It will started from small a to small z, but it not be used the keywords. So what are the keywords or preserved word in Java, such like continue, class, scanner, then continue, break, void, abstract, like this. Final keyword, static keyword. So such keyword which have some meaningful existence or reserved word which has certain functionality defined by the compiler, that type of word you cannot take as a variable. You can take A, B, C, like this, anything you can take, but you cannot read the keyword as a variable over there. Clear? Do not use space in the variable. Suppose if I'll write my full name, string Abhishek Sethi I want to take, I will write string Abhishek underscore Sethi. So there will be no space will be there. So it will not take that as a variable over number. Clear? Suppose if I'll take int 55 space 5. So it will take only read the 5 as a variable. It will not take the 55 as a variable. Clear? Next one. So convention of a variable name, same, use full words instead of cryptic abbreviation. Do not use single letter variables. If all the variables are single letter, the code may look very confusing. An exception of this convention for looping control variables, which are often I, J or K. So I, J, I already these are the looping variables we'll take. Next one is that if a variable consists of one word, take one word, spell that word in all lowercase letters. If a variable name consists of more than one letter, you can use lowercase. So these are the representation. So you already know how to define a variable name, how to define line. But only thing you have to take care when you define this as variable name, don't put the variable name as the keyword that has been used in the Java. So I have already shown the keywords in the Java. There are a lot of keywords like static, abstract, continue, break, then final, like this. So there are different words are there in that you can take. So these are the additional naming. Okay. So next one is very important, this variable scope. So scope of a variable means the value scope lies between the method only. Clear? So in the previous program, I'll show you just. Okay, is there any example given here? So what is the scope of a variable? So here suppose a class input add is there. Clear? Here public static void main I have taken a and b value. So this a b value lies within this class only. Clear? So what is the scope of the variable? This a b is going to be accessible in this class. Suppose another class will be there, so I will take here class xyz. Suppose any name you can take, suppose for the timing. Clear? Suppose if I want to access the variable of b here, so can I able to access the variable of b? No, because this b variable is a limited access to the void main only. Clear? And to this input class only. Up to this class it is accessible. This is known as the scope of a variable. I cannot access the variable value b and a here. This is known as scope of the variable. Yes, it is possible we can access the variable of this class input add in this one. For this we have to inheritance. There is a property known as inheritance or not. So inheritance says about that one class property we can access in the another class. If I'll write here, we'll go if I'll write here extends. So extend is the keyword. So if I'll write like this one, input add. So this is the class name. So if I'll write here class xyz extends from the input. If I'll write this extend keywords, that means whatever the property of input add is going to be accessible in the xyz. So that is the reason this is known as inheritance. So one code you write once again, you can inherit it to the subsequent classes. So this in this way I can access. But if I will not write include the inheritance, I will not going to accessible the value. So this is known as the scope of the variable. If you make extend inheritance, it can be accessible. Clear? So this is the known as the scope of the variable over there. Scope of the variable means if I take here okay, the same program I will do. See, scope of the variable, what I says, I have defining this a and b. So this scope is lies within this main method. Clear? This method is for which class? So class input, it will take the, you can access within the class input add. Clear? Suppose I will take here, I will do another same program. I will do here once again. I will do what I will do. I will do a method over there, void. I will take another void add method. So add 2 I'll take. Clear? Here okay, I will bias the int z here. Suppose here I will define int x equals to 5. Then I will define int y equals to plus, I will retry x plus, I will define the value x plus z over there. Then I'll print this value once again. So in this method, I have what I have done. So in the class input, I have taken a method void add. Just I have taken one value here. This is a method which is add of 2. So in the public main method, I have defined through this variable. I have taken some value and it will just print and display the value. So here I have just method defined. So I have not executed this. So in order to execute this method, I want to call this method. How to call it? So you know already how to call it. Just the what is the method I have taken here? Add TWO2 within bracket. I will pass the int b value. The simply b value. Just you see, don't confuse here. Just I am just showing the accessibility over there. So what I have done, I have written 2 value a b. It will take the sum value. Sorry, it will take the a plus b value and store in the sum. So I have read the a plus b value and sum equals to a plus b. So if I will enter here a b value equals to 5, here a value equals to 10. So the output will be here, it will be 15. Clear? It will print that sum equals to 15. But this method I have called here. So compiler will call this method is this one. Clear? So what is the value here? Int equals to x. If I update this value equals to, suppose I will take 20. Clear? So here the value is 20 over there, and y value is nothing but the z plus x. What is the z value I have passed? So what is the z value I passed? The b value. So what is the b value is here? I passed the value equals to 5. So 20 plus 5, the output will be here 25. Clear? So if you check this, I am accessing the value a and b within this only, this open bracket to this close bracket main method. If I want to access this value x and y, it will be accessing this 2 method only. Clear? All these accessible to this particular input class add. Within this class I can access. This is known as the scope of the variable. Suppose same is there. Suppose there is another class xyz. Suppose class xyz is there. Here I want to access this value a comma b comma z value. What I have calculated, the value another is z also, y value also. Suppose b value. So it is not possible to access the value a b in another class. Why? Because these are completely different class. Here, so scope of this a b and variable lies within this class a add only. I can't access to the other class. Yes, it is accessible whenever there is a property you are using inheritance. So that's why inheritance came. So that is the advantage of object-oriented language. So whenever you use an inheritance, you can access. So if you want to access this one, you have to write extends. Extend. So what's the class name I have taken? Input array. You have to inherit. We'll go as on when the class progresses. Clear? Now scope of the variable is clear. In simple way I have explained it. So next one is your operators. You already know what are the operators. So addition operator, subtraction operator, multiplication operator, division operator, modulo, increment, decrement. So all these operation you can do. Clear? So my question I will give you. The first assignment is everyone should do it. Write a program, take two number and perform all these operation. Addition operation you have to do. Make a third variable, store the addition operation, display the value. For subtraction you take multiplication, division, module operator. So you have to, the first question is write a program, read two value from user operation and perform the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulation. Clear? The question is you have to read two variable and perform the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division and display the value. Is it easy or not? Hello?
Sir.
Yes. The first
Sir, for
question
the
is
same value.
for the only just
Sir.
two. You take value, suppose 10 and 5, addition you will get, subtraction you will get, multiplication you will get, division you will get, and module operator you will get. Only small program for your understanding and executing the concept of Java. Small program. It will not come in the exam. The addition of two numbers are like this. Clear? Okay. So I am winding up here. So please execute this one. So we'll meet in the next class and we'll continue. Okay.